Welcome to the Vertigo Recovery Doctor. I'm Dr. Kevin Smith. I'm a vestibular physical therapist, and in this video I'm going to show you how to figure out if those pesky little crystals are displaced in your inner ear, or what we call BPPV. Now it's important to note that there are 3 canals on each side. So you have the posterior, the horizontal, and the anterior canal. So the maneuvers that I'm going to show you are going to test for each one of those canals, and I'll talk a little bit about how you would know which canal those crystals are displaced in, and I'll show you which test you want to do for each one. So at the end I'll kind of talk about that, of how you know where it's displaced, and I'll also talk about what other conditions you might want to consider if you're experiencing vertigo. So this test is going to be important for people who are experiencing dizziness with laying down, rolling over, bending forward, or looking up with positional changes. And if your dizziness is lasting less than a minute. So some BPPV can last a little bit longer than a minute, especially if you are getting dizziness with positional changes. You probably want to rule this out. I'll have to say that I do have this as part of my vestibular exam when I see my patients, and I do want to rule it out because it's one of the most common causes of vertigo, and it's also one of the most easiest to fix. We do have some complicated cases, or chronic vertigo or chronic BPPV, that is a little bit more complicated, but you want to rule it out. Most of the time it is an easy fix. So let's get right into it. So the first test that you're going to do is what we call the Dick's hallpike test. Now you're going to want to sit on the bed. You're going to bring your legs up into this long sitting position. So you're still sitting, but you're going to kind of have your legs up on the bed. You're going to take a pillow and you're going to put it behind your hips. Now the pillow behind your hips is there to give you the proper position for your neck, because you want it in a little bit of extension. And what you're going to do is you're going to rotate your head 45 degrees to one side, and then you're going to lay down fairly quickly, keeping your head rotated and once you lay down, your head's going to be extended about 20 degrees. Now, what we're looking for is if you have a slight delay in your symptoms, and then they kind of start to ramp up, and then they kind of slowly ramp back down. Now, that is kind of the pattern you want to see with BPPV. And what is happening is that those little crystals, they're supposed to be in the inner ear, but they get displaced into the canals. And when we change positions, those little crystals move. And so a lot of times when you lay down, they start to move and they kind of pick up momentum and they slow down and they settle and your symptoms stop. So you're only getting symptoms when those little crystals are moving. And what we're trying to do is we are trying to aggravate your symptoms a little bit when you bring them on with this test to see if you are experiencing BPPV. Now, when you lay down, we want to see that kind of ramping up of symptoms and then kind of ramping back down. And if somebody's with you, they may notice that your eyes are kind of twitching. We call that nystagmus. Now, there's a fast beat and a slow beat, and the direction of the nystagmus will tell us which canal it is and the little crystals are displaced in. So I want you to just focus on which side you're getting the symptoms on. Now, most likely when you're doing this Dick's hallpike test, you're triggering that posterior canal, and if you have symptoms on the right side, it's most likely the right posterior canal. If you have symptoms on the left side, it's most likely the left posterior canal. So that's why if you rotate your head 45 degrees to the right, you lay down, and you have symptoms, that's probably the side that you want to treat. If you don't have any symptoms on that side, sit back up, and you're going to rotate your head 45 degrees to the left, and then you're going to lay back down on that left side with your head about 20 degrees extension, and see if you get any symptoms on that side. So if you have more symptoms on that side, that's probably the side that you're going to want to treat. Now, if you're not getting symptoms with this Dick's hallpike test, then you want to go into what we call the roll test. So I'm going to have you take that pillow and you're going to move it back a little bit further, and you're actually going to rest your head on the pillow this time. You're going to lay down slowly, and with that pillow under your head, you're going to quickly rotate your head to the right. and this is going to stimulate that horizontal canal. Now, this gets a little bit trickier because it could be either side, the right or the left, that's getting stimulated when you're rotating your head to the right. If you do get symptoms on the right side, you're going to come back to the center and then wait for your symptoms to go away. Then you're going to quickly rotate your head to the left and see if you get symptoms on that left side. Whichever side you're getting more symptoms on, that's probably the side that you want to treat. Now, it's going to change if your symptoms are lasting longer than a minute and depending on the direction of your eye movements. But as a kind of a guideline, you're probably going to want to try doing it on the side that is a little bit more aggressive or you have more symptoms on. If you're looking for a little bit more clarification on how to test for and how to treat BPPV, or if you're wondering how you can help get rid of your vertigo, you want to check out my Vertigo Recovery Doctor membership, and you can find it the link below. So if you go to vertigorecoverydr.com/membership, you can check that out, and I can go into a little bit more depth on how to test for BPPV, especially if you have a little bit more complicated case, different maneuvers that you can do to reposition that. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Let me know if this worked for you, or if you are testing positive for BPPV. Love to know, and what helped you get rid of it. So thank you for watching. If this was helpful for you, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get more content on how to help you get rid of your vertigo. And thanks for watching.